Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's a catalog hub. So guys, I'm back again with another video. So guys, today I'll be doing a thesaurus. As you know, on our YouTube channel we start by defining our terms so that we can have a fully understanding on what we are dealing with. So what is a thesaurus? A thesaurus is a reference tool that lists words or terms with similar or related meanings, synonyms, and sometimes opposite meanings like antonyms. So as you know, the elements of a thesaurus are scope note, use for, broader term, related term, and narrower term. So I'm going to do an example using a disaster management as my main heading or main term. So I'm going to go step by step because everything must be step by step. I will start by scope note. So on scope note, I'm going to start by defining it. A scope note is a short explanation that tells you what a term means or how it should be. Scope note helps you understand the exact meaning of a subject heading. Is also a short explanation that tells you what a subject heading means and what it does not mean. This is very important. What your main heading or main term means and what it does not mean. The opposite of it or the limit. So when you write an exam, they'll say do a thesaurus, maybe using disaster management as your main heading. Then we'll start by writing down your main heading, disaster management, disaster management. Then okay, on my scope note I have to start by defining it and also write what it does not mean. Then you will start by defining it. What is disaster management? Disaster management is a process about planning, preparing for, responding to, and recovering for disasters such as floods, earthquakes, and fires. Then you write what it does not mean, because right now I'm done with the explanation of disaster management. So you must write not is very important. One scope note, you must write this note. You first by explaining your main heading. After you said not what it does not mean, and then you write not a process about everyday safety measures or routine risk management. You see now I wrote the explanation, I wrote what it does not mean. Then I'm done with my scope note. Then I'm moving to use for. Use for. On use for, we will start by defining it. I'll define it for you. Or when you write the thesaurus, you don't have to write the meaning of use for. No, I'm just defining it for you so that you can understand it. So what is use for? A use for are synonyms or other words that mean the same thing as the main heading, meaning that on use for, I'm going to write the synonyms of disaster management, the words that are the same as my main heading or main term. So when I was searching for the synonyms of disaster management. I found emergency management. As I said, guys, I'm going to write the synonyms of disaster management. And when I was searching for synonyms of disaster management, I found emergency management, crisis management. Then I'm going to move to broader term. I'm going to start by defining what is a broader term. A broader term is a bigger or more general topic that includes the main term. Is a general topic, meaning that it must be bigger than disaster management, and disaster management must be able to fit inside that term that I'm going to choose as my broader term. And when I search the broader term of disaster management, I found risk management. It means that risk management is bigger than disaster management, and disaster management falls under risk management. Then I'm going to move to related term. What is a related term? So guys, don't be scared. When I move forward, guys, you'll have a broader understanding on what I mean about a thesaurus and how do we organize it. But we write it like this. So when you are in an exam or test, you must write it like this. Don't forget the main elements, the scope note, used for broader term, related term, and then the last one is the okay. Let me explain the related term. So what is a related term? A related term is a word that is related to disaster management, but is not the same as disaster management. So they say, what is a related term? A related term is a term that is related, connected to the main term, but not the same or part of it. So when I check the term that is related and connected to disaster management, but it's not part of risk management, it was fire prevention. Fire prevention, maybe it's because that it is a routine risk management, meaning that they always check with the fire prevention protocols every time. It's not like disaster management whereby they prepare for floods and stuff. So after that, we are going to move to a narrower term. So we are going to also define it. What is a narrower term? A narrower term is a small or more specific topic that falls under the main term. It helps you move down to a detailed subject, meaning that we have to find a specific term of disaster management, meaning that if we are talking about a disaster management, are we talking mainly about floods control, earthquake, or disaster? Like it must be specific to disaster management, inside disaster management. Specifically, it must be inside disaster management, meaning that we can talk about flood control or earthquake. You must know that narrower term is a specific term that falls under your main heading, and a related term is a term that is connected to your main heading, but it does not form part of your main heading. Then we have a broader term. A broader term is a bigger term that includes your main heading inside of it. And then you have useful. A useful is a synonym, are synonyms of your main heading. And then we have scope note. Scope note is the definition and what it does not mean. Mainly what? Your main heading.